Welcome to Moms with a Call. We're not here to preach, convert, or fix you. We're here to listen.
We're McKenzie
and Rebecca, two women with messy stories, honest questions, and a quiet hope that maybe Jesus looks a lot more like love than we were ever shown. If you've ever wondered if there's a place for you in all of this, there is. Come, have a seat at the table. You're safe here. You're welcome here. Let's begin.
I'm so excited to have you on. I love the headphones. They're perfect.
Oh, thank you.
You have a teeny tiny head too,
like,
so
almost
I
like
figured
there was no
fit.
way to make them look cool either. I tried to like put them backwards a little, or just like the one off the side. And no,
it looks like normal headphones, to be totally honest. Just a little blue.
Yeah,
nice and blue.
Kassi's full on gaming after this.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So
well, thanks for being on, Kassi.
Okay.
I'll introduce you real quick. This is Kassi Gray. She's a wife and a mom of four. Also, fun fact, my childhood best friend. I was talking to Ross the other day, and I was like, I think Kassi is like my longest standing friend because we've been friends for like 23, 24 years. We met in 4th grade, but then I was like, wait, no, it's Kyle Kira, because I met him in 3rd grade, and we're still like,
he just had a baby. I feel like I just thought he had a baby, right? Yes.
Yep. Yeah, little girl.
World, yeah.
Yeah.
Mall 1 and Mall 2 in 5th grade.
Good.
Like that was our nicknames.
I know.
Worked hard for that $20 to go to the mall.
Yeah, Kassi and I had a shopping phase. And we were like really obsessed with going to the mall and going to
And getting the
Abercrombie.
keychains. We had to get the keychains for the backpack too. Yeah.
And
keychains.
Yeah. Limited too. And my mom would have us like do chores around the house. So she would like,
even Kassi?
Like we were like washing her car.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Active child labor at the time. I mean, the ammonium was going, like all the chemicals, we were scrubbing. Yep.
Like we need these Abercrombie shirts.
My mom's like, I'll take you to the mall, but I ain't taking you for free. I got a whole chores list.
So true.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for being here, Kassi. We're excited to have you
I'm
on.
so excited. I guess our episode so we have a motherhood series. Did Rebecca kind of fill you in on?
A little bit, yes, yeah.
More or less. Okay. But she had said that you have a really incredible kind of testimony as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so we would love to kind of just hear it, like hear your story, just speak freely.
I'm like, how far back do y'all want to go? I'm like,
whatever you feel called to share.
Wherever you want to start.
Well, I've given it once in a mom's group before that I was active in here in the town I live in. But basically, I went to high school with Rebecca, left, ended up going out of state for college. I feel like that was a big thing. I thought I was going to stay in Wilmington, go to UNCW. I'm very close with my family, so it's like that was the plan. Had like a boyfriend at the time, all that, the classic, and left and ended up going to Indiana University. And the first Indiana, yeah. So I was 13 hours from home, and I moved in on the last day you could possibly move in. And it was a rainy day, and I remember I met the girls on my floor, and, they had all been there since day one and knew everybody at that point. And we went to lunch in the big dining hall that you went to, and I remember seeing a boy then, which, girl, goo goo gaga boys, turned out to now be my husband, but saw him walking in, and the girl that I was rooming with was like, oh, I know him. I met him. He's from New Jersey, blah, blah, blah. We're invited to his party later. So I ended up going to this party, meeting my now husband, and it was one of those, like, when you know, and kind of said goodbye to everything back home, and we started dating, and then sophomore year, we found out that we were pregnant with our firstborn child, Keegan, which was probably the darkest time of my life. It's one of those where you're so immature at that point, and you're like, why would this happen to me? It doesn't have, what about me? And I think we were very blessed that we were as far along as we were actually pretty far along in the pregnancy when we found out, to where there was no option. I'm glad that God took that away from me, and what could have been a very adolescent mistake that we could have made at a young age, that would be impactful for the rest of your life. So we transferred back to Wilmington. I took my finals over like right before Thanksgiving break and stayed in Wilmington. And my dad went to all of my like crash course birthing classes with me because my now husband, Zach, was finishing finals, so he had to finish them. So, I mean, my dad and I went to these classes, and I don't know how many times I said dad while we were at class. Like, not daddy, dad.
Like, that is not my
father.
sugar daddy.
And Rebecca knows my dad, to where I'm like, he is just...
It makes it so much better.
The fact that he's just milking this, like, he thinks it's hilarious, and was such a light of positivity during all of it. But he's like, Zach doesn't get here. Like, I'm stepping in, and... which is horrifying to think of as your father in a delivery room, now that you guys have all had children.
Oh,
But yeah, luckily Zach finished his finals, got there like the day before we had Keegan. And I honestly had a very easy pregnancy. It was, and Rebecca, you better before, the Martins, Miss Nanette, was over at our house, and I was like, I kind of have some like back pain. And she was like, I can see your stomach having contractions. Like, you need to go to the hospital right now. And we got there, and we were about 6 centimeters dilated. And, everyone's in there, like, eating food. Like, all the family was in there. Our friends were in there. And I'm like, when you go into having your first kid, you are so blind. Like, nobody tells you what it's going to be like. Like, nobody tells you you're also leaving in diapers with your child. Like, there's a lot of trauma your body goes through, and nobody really speaks on that. Like, I remember everyone eating burgers. Like, somebody went and got burgers. Well, I'm, like, actively, like, going back and forth to the bathroom vomiting while I was in labor, and they're all just powwowing in the room.
You're like, I hope you're having a great time. Enjoy the burger that I can't eat.
Super easy delivery, had our son, and then it turned into Rebecca came. It was like all these people I went to high school with, my mom's friends. I think we probably set the record at that hospital for how many visitors we had. I remember Rebecca, and maybe it was with Kyle.
We rallied. We were like,
I didn't know that wasn't normal. Like, I did not know.
Neither did we, Kassi.
Like,
Neither did we. We were like 19 years old.
You're like, on their way to lunch for my friend.
Yes. But it was just one of those where I'm like, oh gosh. Like, I mean, you just don't know until you know. The other 3 children, we did no visitors allowed. But I mean, Keegan was. We tell him all the time, the kids are starting to get older where they can do the math. Like, Keegan knows that he came before we got married, and we just phrase it as like, when God is so excited to put somebody on this earth, he's going to put somebody on. Like, yes, there are things you can and can't do, but you
had to be here at this time.
We all my husband will say, like, he's like, he got good grades in college. Second we had Keegan, straight A's, never been so laser focused. Like, he is where he is in his career today because of Keegan, like, wanting to provide and working hard.
Yeah, he locked
in. Like, I could not have gotten
You really
luckier,
did. You both did.
But we match each other's hard work, which, the kids see that. But I'm like, Keegan was such a blast. I mean, he is, I don't want to get emotional at 10 a.m. on a the best thing that could, you have multiple kids. And I'm like, Keegan is the best thing that has ever happened in our life to make us the people we are. Like, I cannot fathom thinking about what my life would be like if that boy had not come. I always say, I'm like, he's the one that saved me. Like, everyone's got that one person. And like, I love my husband, and he's an amazing person, but my son is giving me purpose in life. But I mean, he's also, like, if you meet him, he is the greatest human you can imagine. Like, I cannot imagine a world without him. And like, he is constantly the kid that every family wants to bring on vacation, that everybody wants to be around. He's in middle school, and like, we have not had,
so sweet.
Knock on wood, we have not had a single issue. I'm like, he is the kid that can jump on every team. Everybody wants him around. Everyone praises him. This phenomenal grades, doesn't have to try. Like, I don't know how we got so lucky with him, but had Keegan, and we're like, okay, now we're going to do everything right. I was very self-pride and do not marry. Rebecca and I are very similar, where we are very strong, sassy, stand our ground kind of women. And I was like, do not marry me because we have a child. Like, I will figure this out on my own. But do not give me a pity. Like, that's not how this is going to work. Like, I would never be able to live with myself. That would come up in every argument we had. It would dig into every insecurity. So we didn't. We moved right back after we had Keegan. We got off-campus housing. That was probably one of the hardest patches because, you know, Zach was in a fraternity and we were living off campus. So we were living together off campus, but he was still, which as he should, like, you don't want to completely associate with life. Like, he needs to be his own person. I need to be my own person. And then together we form something great. If we're so dependent on each other to fill every need, if we're just like eat away at each other. Like, you need to both be bringing something to the relationship is my philosophy in that. And even still now. But I remember like vivid memories of him getting picked up from, and I love these people. They're all great people, but like, you know, fraternity brothers picking him up with a car of some sorority girls to go off to a day party. And I'm just like sitting there with my baby, like, okay, bye. I'm such a strong woman because I'm not saying we're going to get married, you know? So it was fine. I mean, I look back and laugh on it now, but I'm like, what a wild time. And I just think of my parents and all of that. I'm like, oh, she's just, okay, you just stay strong there, girl. But we ended up getting, I did switch to nursing school. I had probably 4 a.m. clinicals that I'd go in for. I'd get home around 3 o'clock, and then Zach switched all of his classes to night classes. So they'd start around like 4 or 5. So, I mean, we, besides an occasional friend babysitting here and there, kind of just winged it on our own, which was hard.
That's
but
incredible.
I feel like, I think it helped us into our work ethic today. Because I'm like, life is so insanely crazy. But I'm like, it was never that crazy. Like, that was a wild. I remember getting, like, Zach would always bring me home like Baja Blast freezes. I don't know if you guys have ever had those, but I don't drink coffee. So like the caffeine in one of those, if I had like an exam, he'd bring me home one on his way home from like a night class, and I would just chug it and be like twitching wired and could study all night long. Good times. Good times. But we graduated. Yeah.
With the baby.
Yeah.
I'm like in awe. Like, I don't know how you did this.
Oh, this is Kassi. Yeah. This is Kassi to a T. When she wants to get something done, she's going to get it done.
Oh my gosh.
But we graduated, and then that summer, my family does a family reunion every year at the beach. And I remember the day that we got engaged, and I kind of like, you know, you kind of have an inkling. And I remember telling Zach, I'm like, I'm very traditional. Like, you have to ask my dad. Like, you know, that's like, I kind of had an inkling. My family, Rebecca's been around my mom's side of the family. I'm like, we are very close-knit, but there's a lot of us. So there's a lot of loosey ways that it can get through. So I knew the day it was happening. And, you know, Zach's like, you want to go for a walk on the beach? And I was like, oh, sure. And turn around. And I have, 17 cousins on that side of the family. So all my cousins are there, aunts and uncles, significant others. They all stormed the balconies. I'm like, I know exactly what's happening. And they're lighting off like fireworks as we're still walking. We got engaged. Yep. Got married a year later. We moved to Georgia, where we live now, just to be drivable to my parents. My husband's parents live in the area too. And we got pregnant right away, which is great. Like, we're doing everything the right way this time. We're married, we have a house, blah, blah, blah. You've got a good job, we can support ourselves, all of that. And we actually had a pretty late, so I went in to get what I thought was, I'm like, oh, we're going to be able to see the gender of the baby. And I brought Keegan with me. Zach, to each their own, every couple is different. I am not a like warm, fuzzy, want to be touched and coddled kind of person. So, Zach did not go to many of our pregnancy appointments. So
that's how I was too.
I'm like, no.
I'm like, I'm good.
Speak medical to me, we're good.
Work.
I don't need to be rubbed. We're good. But we went in, and when they were doing the ultrasound, they saw that the baby was no longer viable. And Keegan was there with me. And Zach and I have different blood types. So they had to give me like the RhoGAM shot on the spot right there, and then schedule my DNC for that week. So we passed that baby. But then, I mean, I announced that I was pregnant with that baby, and I always refer to it as like baby Charlie, because I'm like, I personally did not ask what the gender was after when I had my D&C. I feel like that made it feel too real, but they were able to tell me it was a chromosomal abnormality, and which is very common. And me being in the medical field for a little bit, I'm like, I wanted a big family. I could logistically comprehend this is what happens. Like, this is your body protecting itself. And like, if you want 4 kids, statistically, this is going to happen. And I had the comfort of knowing I could get pregnant because I had gotten pregnant with Keegan. So I actually did not mourn it as much as I think people would have expected. It was one of those where, like, this happens. I think it was more upsetting, which, as being immature, I'm looking at it as I was not trying to get pregnant, nor did I want to get pregnant with my oldest. And then we did everything right. We followed it to a T. We got married. We got the house. We did everything we were supposed to do. And then now you take that away. Like, we did everything right. Like, that was my mental challenge with it, not the passing of the trial. Because I'm like, I looked at it as I'm so lucky that God made that decision for me. Like, I don't know what I would have done if they're like, hey, you have a blah, blah, blah % chance, but this is what I don't know. You don't know until you know. And I was like, I'm glad that I did not have to make that decision. And he was like, life will be more peaceful for this child up here waiting for you, is kind of how we saw it. But I mean, we got pregnant right away to where I didn't even announce I was pregnant again or anything, because I mean, if somebody was smart and they went back on my Facebook post, they could be like, she was pregnant for 52 weeks. They could probably see that. But I mean, again, we were dealing with 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds. No one's doing that. They're all out living a good life. So we got them pregnant with Kinsley. And I mean, she was a breeze. And so Kinsley and then Hudson and Brooks, they're all 16 months apart. And the reason for that was we were like, listen, we did not want a baby, and we had Keegan, and it was the greatest blessing. We wanted a baby, did everything right, and that did not happen. So we're like, if we want this big family, like, we'll do our part.
Are you working at this point too?
No. So my husband does litigation consulting. So I mean, he works like 12 hours. I mean, a ton. Yeah, he works a ton.
He works for both of you.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. No, I was not.
I was going to be like, so oh my gosh,
stay-at-home mom.
Are you Superwoman?
No, we
like,
lived in
still
Chicago,
though, with all these
right
kids.
out of college, and I mean, he would get on the like 6:30 train to go into work, and then he would come back and he'd be on the 7:30 train, like clockwork. So that was a really lonely period of time, because we were these really young parents, but my husband was never around, which I'm not saying that in a bad way. He was working and providing and trying to climb the ladder as quickly as he could, which is really what pushed our move to Georgia. So like, statistically in southern towns, people get married younger, start families younger than, a city like Chicago, which wasn't like, I loved being in Chicago. I loved the city, but I was finding I was spending more time with nannies, or there just wasn't, I could always find people to hang out with, but nobody to really like connect with. And we knew we wanted more kids, and so that was kind of why we made the move. But yeah, 4 kids later, and life is absolutely insane. I love it. I'm like, this is, I feel like some people are just meant to be moms. Like, that is, and not just to be moms, but meant to be like stay-at-home moms or very active moms.
Yes.
Like, I think we all just thrive in different ways. Like, I think some people, to be the best mom possible, they need that work-life balance. Like, they need that to fill their cup and their confidence and do all that. And I feel like that is mind-blowing to me. Like, I don't know how I could handle that. I'm like, I'm so impressed by people who can do both, because I compartmentalize. I cannot fathom having those 2 giant worlds going at the same time and trying to juggle both. But yeah, here we are, 4 kids later, and it is quite the journey. They keep me very busy. They're all, you think you have parenting figured out, and I'm like, Keegan's been the easiest kid to be a parent for. I'm like, it's almost like a best friend, but also a kid, and it's fun kind of meshing those 2 worlds, where I do feel like we can joke around and have that kind of camaraderie, but there's still the respect of your parent. And then my daughter is like a firstborn all over again. She is me, but like a better version. Like I'm really close with my grandpa, and I always tell him, I'm like, it is like the hardest thing. Like nobody warned you as a mom that like when you produce a daughter, you were literally just producing a smarter, more hardworking, more attractive version of yourself that you have to look at every day. And they just keep getting better and you just keep stepping back. Like nobody warns you of that. And
They humble you
that's
on a
so funny.
daily
gosh.
basis where you're like,
When I started with Kinsley, I'm
Yes.
like, will you pick the
Yep.
gray hairs out of my head? I'm like, I'll give you candy if you just sit on the couch and pick. And she's a picker, so I love it. I'm like, thank you that I got this daughter.
you
I
were
know,
a picker
I
too.
love it. I'm like, I see her like salivating when people are like peeling at the beach. I'm like, you can't do this in public, girl. Like, I know you want to peel them, but I'm like, you got to do this in private. I'm like, oh. But, and then, I mean, my husband is like the cuddliest, loveliest.
Kinsley,
Brooks is our spicy. My number 4,
Yeah,
if
he is.
anybody who knows him, he is, I call him spicy, and I think that's the nicest word to call him. He's, God love him. We love him, but he's spicy.
Oh,
the youngest.
I love it.
He's
Oh
the
my
most
gosh.
athletically talented, but he is the spiciest.
Oh my gosh.
He
I
will
mean,
go
I feel like that's
places.
kind of how the babies are, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
smart too.
Yeah.
They're
He
just-
like
yeah.
knows
The
where he
youngest.
can and can't get away with stuff. So I'm like, at home, he knows like, oh, mom can get on you pretty fast. But he will go in public and be an absolute punk because he knows I'm not going to act crazy in public. Like I will keep it together, and everyone's like so calm and poised. And
those are the dangerous
you
ones.
never like get upset and like, how do you do it? You're just so chill. And I'm like, you have no idea what I'm whispering in my child's ear when I'm going
You're
over
like, I
there.
don't feel you.
Wait till you get to the car.
As you're just like,
Yeah. I'm like, people tell me all the time, like, how do you do it? You're just so chill. I'm like, no. I know how to keep the crazy inside the house. I'm like,
I know people ask me that too with my kids, and I'm like, oh, it's Zola.
yeah.
Like,
And then they like
am.
kind of laugh and they're like, is she serious?
I'm
or is she not?
chilling.
Where do we go from here? Oh, so funny.
That is so funny.
Oh, I love it. So wait, so how old is Keegan?
So Keegan is 13.
13.
So
and then how old's your youngest?
He is 5. So we're at the
5.
phase where my youngest just graduated preschool, which sad that chapter's over. Not sad
But
we're not
kinda
paying for
exciting.
it anymore. But it was almost like we were there for 10 years. Like that's,
Mhm.
I feel like I was already absent from the school. Like I was very involved in the elementary school and not really wanting to participate in the preschool anymore. I'm like, and y'all can relate to this. I'm like, we do that mom dating when we have young kids where we're mom dating. Like we're going to the playground and we're trying to make mom friends. And I
Ugh.
feel like the mom
I
dating.
know, it's the
And I'm
worst.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You get to the point where you're like, I've found my people, and I think the older you get, the smaller your circle becomes. You talk to all the moms, you're trying to make mom friends and make connections, and I feel like I have gotten to a place where I'm like, I feel like my circle has to be so small, and I almost like it comes across cold sometimes, but I'm like, I am so overstimulated in this world we live now. And then
Yeah.
times 4 with 4 kids, I'm like, I've got my 3 boys are now, they're on rec teams, but also on travel teams. So you've got all those group me's going off. You've got all the kids' school group me's and the apps and the emails and then your emails and volunteer role. Like it's just, I feel like my head is like a ping pong machine 24/7. And
Yeah.
the mom, like I was talking to my mom about it. I'm like, you just don't get it. And my mom had 4 kids. So I'm sure she takes that as like a huge insult of like, what do you mean I don't get it? And I'm like, nowadays,
Mhm.
They
like,
don't.
yes, the
it's
kid
different.
labor is the same, but I'm like, nothing is low key
The
anymore.
logistical
I'm
labor
like, my children do
is crazy.
rec football. Like my little guys do rec football and rec cheer in our area, and that is 2 practices a week that are an hour and a half. Games that you travel up to an hour for, and that is rec. Like that is their
Ugh.
rec. I was just sitting down doing like my logistics for this Saturday, and I'm like, we had 8 baseball games just this Saturday that are all with hours in different
Kassi.
directions. It is.
How?
I sit down and do logistics, but you have to lean on your.
You and Zach have to be
we're
in like
always
2
in
different places.
Oh,
I love
my
it. I'm like,
gosh.
there is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I love sports, and I love not sports as far as just competing. I love what it builds in people. Like, I think people look and like, why do you put your kid in all these sports? And I'm like, because my kids are realizing they have to wake up when they don't want to, because they have to show up for their team. They have to, practice even when they don't feel 100%. They still have to go try. They've got to take direction from other adults. Like, they see the reward of hard work. Like, I think of one of my little boys' teams. I'm like, they are practicing and working hard, but they do amazing, and they get to see their hard work pay off. And I'm like, I don't think any of my kids are going to the MLB. I'm like, I'll be lucky if they play in high school. Like, very self-aware of that. But I'm like, you look at these people that thrive in work or like in their professional worlds, and a lot of them were athletes at some point and learned those skills to be hardworking, to work with others, to work when you don't want to. Because, I mean, that's what life is. Like, at some point, you're going to have a boss that you don't like or a teacher that you don't like. And you still have to learn to get to work together and still be successful in that kind of environment. Like, that's the real world. And
Yeah, it like helps instill that discipline, I think,
Yeah.
in respect for
Oh, yeah.
a coach and your like colleagues almost, even though
Other
that it's your
people, too.
teammates. Yeah.
Or even when like life isn't fair, like as Dama said, it's like, oh, that aunt made a bad call. Like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Like, did he make the right call? No. But is it gonna ruin your day? No. You're gonna be over it, and it's just a small little glint. Like, you need to learn that not everything's gonna go your way, and life isn't fair. But that's where we're being tested on a regular basis, and that hopefully like teaches you in adulthood that life isn't fair. So,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Your family, y'all were very big sports people too growing up.
yes,
Like,
yeah. I feel like
you kids, and then Gwen was really
Yeah.
artistic.
poor girl, she like got
from what I
thrown in as
remember.
goalie in soccer, and I think that really pushed her more into her art career, which
She's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start
no,
using this
thank
part of my
you.
brain. This is where I feel comfortable.
so
But y'all were always very
we liked
athletic and
it.
into sports growing up
I
too.
feel like it comes from like my mom's
Yeah.
side of the family. Like, we
Let
do
her know.
these family reunions,
Yeah.
which I was referring to, like where we got engaged. And people think we're absolutely insane, but we do like full Olympics. Like, it is, my mom's one of 5.
that's
Each family
so
forms their
fun.
own team, and it is like a weird.
Are y'all like, is it crazy competitive too? Like
Yes.
you're like
Oh yeah.
cutthroat
Like, we are
Olympics
all,
family.
Yes. I
Love
always talk
it.
about, because I'm like, we are so, like, other people's families go to the beach and they just sit, and then they maybe leave and go to lunch and go shopping. And like, we are down there all day long. Like,
Yeah,
people are
that's my
constantly
family.
playing sports and being like,
And I
just
love
having
it.
fun. And I'm like, this is what you wish you could do every day. I'm like, I think about moving back
No,
to
there's a
Wilmington
part
all the
of
time, and
me-
I'm like, this is not real world. Like, this is vacation. Like, you guys don't all just like ride your bikes around the beach all day when you live in Wilmington and go get matchas and smoothie bowls and like watch the sunset
Yes,
every
we
night.
do.
You do that?
We do that.
Then I definitely do
That's
need
our
to
life
move.
here, Cassie. And we get acai
Yeah, there you go.
bowls, and we just like we vibe down here.
I mean, I swear, like, every time I visit Wilmington a lot, I try to go back like once a month, more in the summer and less when it's busy season. But I mean, it is the best place to raise a family. I love Wilmington, and we do it every time. We're like, wouldn't life be so great here? And kids would love it. And my parents always have to remind me, they're like, this isn't real world. When you come home and you're going to the fish shop and you're getting fresh seafood
you
every
are on
time,
vacation.
and dad's taking the boat, and then you're at the pool ordering like pool service. Like, she's like, this isn't real. Like, we don't all just drive golf carts around and get fresh seafood every night for dinner. Like, that's not. If you guys tell me that's what normal every day is like, I may actually
Like,
move.
sign me up.
But I don't remember that when I lived in Wilmington. And the only thing I remember that I love to brag about was like, oh, I remember like leaving class to go to the beach. Like, we'd wear bathing suits under our Sophies and big t-shirts, and we would leave class and go
Sophies,
straight on
they're
someone's boat.
back.
They're coming back. I keep seeing them at the store.
I just bought Phoebe like 6
Stop.
pairs of them at Walmart. I was like, this is happening.
Oh my God, I'm about to go get them for Noah.
She's like, what are those?
You're like, what do you?
We're getting every color.
We're gonna have an induction.
These are a staple.
Into the Sophie Hall of Fame. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you got them at
I
Walmart.
love
I'm gonna
Sophies.
go get some for Noah.
I feel like I'm seeing them everywhere.
Yeah,
They're at
yeah, they have,
Dick's,
like,
they're at
every color.
Walmart, they're at Target. I'm like, oh, they are.
See, I never get out. I gotta get out more.
No,
I'm
see,
just
you
like
haven't
in
been
my hole.
Go to your
influenced. I'm
local
like, I don't
Walmart.
step in stores because I don't trust myself. I feel like I've overshopped in my younger ages to where now I'm like, I have to stay behind a computer and
No,
yeah.
wait, that's so true. I'm the same
Yes.
way.
Wait. Say it again. I missed. So it's you're like you can't. You get
Oh, I
what?
cannot shop in person. Like I am the easiest sell. I like see something shiny and I'm like, buy. Versus I'm at home and I have it all these tabs on my computer and I'm like, I can like think about it more and not be impulsive.
And then you like do that. I
and
feel like
then
I'm
I
a
work, yeah.
like I'm a blend.
Well, you also like overstimulate yourself with all the
Yeah.
tabs where you're like, I'm just not going to get any of it.
1000%. Yep. And then Amazon, like for some reason, Amazon's not real money to me. It's connected to Zach's credit card, so like I don't see it. I know nothing. And every month I'm like, why is your credit card bill so high? He's like, it's because of Amazon. Like all I buy is lunch and Amazon. He's like, that is all that is on his credit card. I'm like, ooh.
You're like, oops.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they all seem so practical.
That would be me.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I do Newly a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that. And so it's great because I'm on calls all the time. So because I run an agency, and so it's just like like I feel like I always have to have something. But that's what I'm saying. I never get out of my house because I'm in my like little hole on my computer.
That's why you have good headphones. Yeah. I'm like,
workout.
Yeah.
Very chic.
Oh my gosh. Very chic. Thank you. They're I call them Jibbles. JBLs. I love the kid headphones though. They're great.
So fun.
Yeah, the kid headphones are making a comeback.
Oh my gosh. Well, I feel like you are just like having 4 kids. I actually have a question, and this isn't even like podcast questions. I'm just like selfishly interested.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
So what do you think your hardest transition was? I mean, yes, Keegan, I'm assuming was probably kind of hard to be in college. But like,
I mean, our hardest transition, us personally, was 3 to 4. But that's if you're referring to age, 3 to 3. If you're referring to number, pecking order, like going from 3 to 4 kids was the hardest. But that was solely because Keegan was so much older. Keegan was 6. Like he could go help me get diapers. So Kinsley really felt like a firstborn all over again. And then I had Hudson, and so that but when we hit the 4, that was harder. But I always tell people, I'm like, they're like, how do you do it with 4? And granted, logistically, I am so OCD. So like, if y'all could see the list that I write out every day, it is every 10 minutes I'm like writing. Like I sit down, I wake up, get the kids up to school, I sit down and make my whatever, either the night before or I do it the morning of. It is part of my routine.
And you're like a director of
every 15 minutes what I'm doing.
Yeah, and she's type A.
Yes. I don't understand. It gives me so much anxiety to think of people that aren't that way with this many kids that are this active. Because like, how do you not forget something? It is. But I also have
We're
to
just
like
winging it.
I physically cannot get everybody where they need to get. I'm like last night, like my oldest had practice 7:15 to 9:30. My youngest had a practice at 5 to 6:30. One of my kids had a scrimmage that was 40 minutes away, that he had to be an hour. And then my daughter had gymnastics, 4:45 to 8:15. Like logistically, I cannot do it all to where I have to write it all out. And then you got to have a community. I'm like, you can't, yes, you can hire help. Yourself. Like I know people do that. They hire help, which, hey, if that's like your way of keeping the peace and knowing you always have somebody versus always having to reach out to people, you've got to have a community to make it work with multiple kids. And luckily we have a great one to where you can ask a friend and be like, hey, can you grab him and take him to practice, let him hang out with you, and then another one, have him get picked up. I mean, my in-laws live close by and they're a godsend and always welcome, happy to help, and we make sure to not abuse that, and really when we need it to ask, but they're great and that's such a blessing. But I feel like that was the hardest because it was no longer just you take one kid, I take one kid, and then the oldest was easy, and it was the 4 kids is a lot. But I always say that, you're in a perfect world, you're giving 100% of yourself to your children. And whether you have one child and you're giving 100% to that child, you have 2, you're giving 50-50, like no matter what, you're still giving at the end of the day 100%. And I look at siblings as, okay, if I'm only able to give, I'm having to help this kid, and this kid also needs me. That's a chance for their sibling to step in. And so they're still getting all their needs met. They're just now reaching out to siblings, and I can't do it all for them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll even have like, you know, my daughter is an angel. And I'm like, hey, can you go read Huddy a book? Because I've got to get Brooks a shower. And she'll go do that. Like it's, you know, they can lean on each other, or my oldest will take them out and like play with them in the backyard while I'm trying to get stuff done. So it is, you're still giving this.
That is what's so special about siblings.
I mean, gosh, they fight like cats and dogs sometimes, but they're also can be so sweet with each other. It's, you know.
I know.
And at the end of the day, I'm like, I look at like Christmases and I'm like, I want the big, I mean, as moms, this is like always a dream. Like, you know, the big Christmas where everyone's there and all the grandchildren and you're just sitting around, and then Sunday family dinners where you're like, hey, everyone come over on a Sunday whenever you can and we'll grill out. And like, in my opinion, that's like the goal as a mom. Like the goal as a mom is you want
same.
Me too. Yeah, of course.
Respect being around the family. And like, I get that I was very privileged growing up, and that my parents value that. And we were also blessed that we were close to family. And that was, you know, I look at life a little differently to where, you know, we don't have this huge, where I have 17 cousins, blah, blah, blah. But my kids have friends that are like siblings, like that are like cousins that we go on vacations with. And that's such a weird concept because I grew up only vacationing with my cousins. And now we've gotten into where we go on these traditions where we go to the beach with these same families every year. And these kids have sleepovers and do all these things as if they are family members. And that's pretty special.
Love that.
So, I mean, it's a different, like you get a little of both. And my sister has one daughter,
you
but
can
they're
make your own
out in
family,
Washington.
too.
So I'm like, we see her and she's the cutest little thing ever. But we only see her, you know, 2 times a year, and she's a hoot. So trying to get them back on this side of the state.
Yeah.
You're like, come back.
Yeah.
My sister, that's part of the reason we're moving, actually. So I'm in Raleigh right now, but I'm moving to Greensboro to be closer to family.
Yeah.
So we have 2 kids, and I, like, both my husbands, honestly, 1 to 2 rocked me. I know I've talked about this before on here, so I won't go into depth, but like, rocked me to my core. And so I'm like honestly scared to have her. But we've always wanted a bigger family. And so we're just like, can we even do this? Like, can we do 3? Can we do 4? Like, it's kind of crazy. And
what
so
are your ages?
3 and 1. So they're just over 2 years apart, like 2 years. And
she's in like the thick of the thick of it with age wise too, where it's like
That's hard.
that will.
Oh, I
settle.
remember telling people, I'm like, at that age when they were also young, I'm like, I remember crying on a regular basis. Not that I'm like not because I'm grateful cry or like woo is me, but it is, oh my, like you can deep dive into that stuff. And my kids always joke with me, they're like, Mom does this like quarterly cry. And I think like my close friends now know that I still do that.
You're just crashing out.
I go in the shower and just cry for like 15 minutes. And it's there's a song, and I'll have to text it to you guys, that one of my friends said, oh, it's called Carry Me. I'm trying to think of who it's by. It's a Christian song, but it is, I mean, if y'all listen to it, you will cry. But it is, when you really think of like the weight of the world is on a mom's shoulders. Like it is, you're, you know, responsible for feeding, for making sure this kid's like mental health is in a good place. That they're going to like contribute to society. All of that, no matter what kind of parenting situation you have, if you and your husband both work, if you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, everybody looks at the mom. Like a kid misbehaves, you look at the mom. Like it is, I don't know why. I mean, that's just a societal thing that has just never changed, but it is literally the weight of the world is on your shoulders as a mom. No one's ever calling dad first when you're at school and something happens. It's mom. A kid gets in trouble. Mom, what did you do wrong? Like it's mom. And it is, the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And the song is like, it's about who's going to carry me. Like, you know, you feel like all the pressure, and we're even moving to society, and my parents are luckily young, but I'm like, there's a lot of people who, you know, they're taking care of their parents as well as their children. And it is a lot. Like it is so much in the world we live in, where you throw in the social media with it and everything like that, of everyone constantly putting on a fake persona of that life is so great and they've got it all together. And like, I feel guilty sometimes doing that too, like contributing to it. I'm like, I'm not going to go post depressing stuff on my Facebook or Instagram page. Like, I'm posting that we're on vacation, or that, you know, we won this game, or I'm at a girls' lunch, or we're celebrating a baby shower, or, you know, you put the highlights of your life. Everyone's doing that. And in reality, I'm like, life's hard. Life is like, it is. There's good days and there's bad days, and there's days where I'm like, I just want to, and I mean, y'all probably do this too, where I'm like, I just want to move like 2 hours away where I know nobody and just be like, forget this life and start over. Like,
yes.
And
yes.
I think I put,
we just talked about this.
Hence Wilmington. I'm like, I say all the time, I'm like, I just want to move back to Wilmington and just like, what are we doing here in this rat race where every kid needs to be making straight A's and everyone needs to be playing baseball? And I'm like, this town we live in, that is such a blessing and we love it. And I wouldn't actually move. Like, it is the greatest. We love it where we live. But it's everyone's just expecting perfection. And you as a mom, you know, you need to be making sure you're hanging out with your friends enough and your husband's established enough and that you're involved in your school and you're involved in your community. And
literally, yes.
It's just a lot. It's unrealistic expectations.
Evan just walked in and we're good for it.
The sweetest.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
No, we were just talking about this, how it's like stimulation overload to where like our generation just wants to live on a farm with no cell phone.
All the time.
Look at cows every day and no one can talk to you. And it's because it's like, it's not just that we're raising kids. It's like we're raising kids. Then there's social media. Then there's this pressure to keep up with this event and this event and this sport. It's just exactly what you're saying. We just like went on a deep dive about this, I think, in the last episode, where your nervous system is just shot. Like, it's
but nothing's real. Like, that's what
and you're right.
Nothing is real. Like, if you look into these influencers, and I mean, this is why my oldest is like, I want social media. I'm like, you don't need it. Like, if you want to go look at your videos or blah, 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 you can do it on mine.
Yeah, exactly.
It took me being probably 28 years old to probably, that was the first like aha of, oh my gosh, social media is so fake. Like, we're all following these mom influencers. I'm like, there's a couple, I love them, but at the end of the day, they have somebody shopping for them. They have somebody taking care of their entire house. They have multiple childcare. They have personal assistants. Like, it's not real. Like, there's nobody that you are following as a mom
doing
influencer. If they have made it as a mom influencer, they have an entire team.
Well, they're running
them. It is.
They're running a brand. It's a business. Like, I mean,
made of lies.
That's what an influencer. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's so much goes into being an influencer, and like, it looks effortless, but it's like, it's insane. And so, they have a whole team.
It's a job.
That makes it appear effortless.
Yes,
but I do love following some of them.
I'm like, they're great, but it was like,
but it's not.
Could you turn the camera around and be like, hey, there's my child over there with my nanny. The cook's in the kitchen, and my assistant prompted me with all these questions. I'm not deep diving looking for links. Like, I have people doing that. I'm just showing up and reading off a script as an actress almost. Like, I'm not saying they're not authentic, but you're putting off this persona that this is all achievable, and it's not. Like, I can't go clean my house while I'm full face of makeup and a cute out. Like, that's not real. Like, it's.
No.
But we all, in our immature minds, are like, oh, this is what I need to be doing. Like, I should be having a weekly date night with my husband to be a good wife. And I should be baking for my kids' class and volunteering for all these events and showing up and stopping my day and doing craft time and doing sing-alongs and, you know, pulling the cover. It's the not Peppa Pig. Who am I thinking? Bluey. I'm like, this world of Bluey. Those are the parents we're supposed to be, where we just stop everything and play imagination, and it's like, no, there's actually the real world. Like, we've got to love on our community. We've got to handle bills. We have to handle housework. Like, it's just, I mean, I feel bad. It just gets
like the comparison is really what it is. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, that might be their reality that they're living in as an influencer, and that's fine if that's your reality. But the problem is, like, if you're going to contribute the content, I get what you're saying. Like, make sure it's real, make sure it's authentic, because there are people that are like, I mean, you have a duty. There are moms out there that are following you that are comparing their life to this and feeling like they're falling short because they can't keep up with it all. So I do think it's like really important that we show it or just like realize that's not our reality and like get out of there. You know what I mean?
There's one that I follow or I used to follow. I don't like, kind of bugs me, but she did do that. She did a good job where she was like, hey, I'm gonna like, she made a transparency video. She has like 7 kids. They live in California. And she was like, I have a team. Like I have a influencer management team. I have a project manager that helps me with this. We have like, I order groceries through Instacart and they get delivered. Like this is how I make this work. Like I'm not literally like this like perfect mom and I run this influencer like bit, like it's all of it. So, and I do think she did a really good job with that. And so I think if more people made those videos too, like, well, maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's more so like maybe we need to shift societal expectation, like understandings, like where we're like, hey,
for women. And
well, it's like you can't do anything. I don't know. My parents always taught me like you can't control somebody else. You can only control how you react and how you move forward from there. And I'm like, I can't make this person do something different, but I can self-reflect and say, that's not real. Don't let that upset you. Like that's
exactly.
It's not for me to dictate how.
Well, it is that. Right. And everybody has a right to live their life how they want to. We have a right to choose if it's going to influence our day and if we're going to compare ourselves to it. And it's like, it's the sensory overload. It's the information overload where it's like, not only are you seeing this, but you're also being sold a bazillion different things a day that you think you're supposed to have because you're a woman. And then it's like all the parenting advice on there on top of it. It's just like, that's what I tell my friends all the time. I'm like, at some point I had to get off and trust myself that I know like how to raise my kids that feels right to me, because how I'm raising my kids might not feel right to you and vice versa. But I can't, like, it's just noise at the end of the day. It's just noise. And I trust myself more than I trust a social media account.
Yeah. And
you're also very blessed where you have a good network. Like you have great parents and you've got great friends and great community to where it's like, if I have questions, I'm not going to the internet. I'm going to trusted people with similar values.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, you don't really know these people truly online, where it's like, okay, do they hold the same values that I hold as a mom or as just a member of society or as a woman. Well, but I'm glad you brought that up because we really don't talk about that enough. And it is like a big
or do they like put it on for the camera and then behind closed doors they're like, what is it? Do you remember like Ruby Frankie?
Oh yeah.
As well.
Oh, I watched that documentary. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, are they, maybe they're not abusive, but they're certainly not like they put it on for the camera. Right. And so it's like, we're comparing ourselves or seeking advice from women that may not actually be what we value.
Yeah.
And like, and it can be kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
How do we stop that?
And then there are great people on social media that are like, you know, doing the good work. So it's really hard to balance. And of course it's like in your most vulnerable state and like when you're overwhelmed and crashing out, you're not, well, I'm not pulling out a camera and like putting, you know, like so I get that maybe they don't have content to share with that, but just even like having the conversation is important, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Ugh.
Yeah, like friends end up being who has similar values. Like you can get along with anybody, but I'm like, to really have that inner circle, you've got to have similar values. And you know, we as moms.
And I too, I talked about this too. And we were also talking, Dare and I and a couple other girls, where I'm like, I value the friendships too, that they're going to tell me things that I don't want to hear when I need, like, I don't always need like a yes friend. I do need that a lot. And I am that friend a lot too. But it's like, I also want the heart, like the deep core friendships where my friends are going to be like, well, This
Because
is
those are like
the hard
Like
true
that's
truth.
what I'm
friends.
observing, and
like it's-
maybe
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like it's very telling when, you
It's-
think you're friends with people and then you try to have like, that first like deep conversation and they're like, no, we don't do that. And I'm like, okay, like
Like
I
okay,
don't have place for that in my life, which is not to sound cold, but I'm like,
Yeah, like
I
I
can
need
be
that.
cordial and polite and all that, but if you're going to be in my core circle, I need to be able to be vulnerable with you and you to also put me in my place of, hey, yeah, you are overreacting, or like, I don't think this is as big of a deal, or if I were you, this is how I would handle the parenting. And I have to be able to receive that because I respect you enough to where what you're saying is with good intentions. There's no hidden meaning behind it or anything.
It's like gentle conviction
yeah.
that is important. And authenticity and vulnerability. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I have to go to Target to get some popsicles.
Curbside pickup. That
these-
is like the best thing that's come out of the pandemic
know.
is you can curbside
Literally,
pickup
I'm like,
at Target.
for
very
their
dark time,
ice cream
but that was
social. They have an ice cream social today. Last week they had a picnic. This week it's an ice cream social, and next week it is a water day, and then an end of school play day. So I'm like, great.
Yep.
Woo!
We have some
poor
friends
client.
who were
It's
talking
okay.
about their last week of school. Every day is a half day for their last week of school. And I'm like, what sick person thought that was a good idea? Like, let me wake up at the crack of dawn to get my kid out the door and then pick them up before lunch.
Ew.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody wants that.
No. I was like, okay, I can't complain to you.
Yeah.
Well, Kassi, it
So
was
funny.
so good to
It was nice
meet
meeting you.
finally meet you, and just hear. Thank you for sharing your story too, and
Feel
we're
free
gonna
to
have to have
edit
you
it in
back on
any way
because
you
you're
need.
great.
You can edit me out anywhere.
No, you were perfect.
No. You did great.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
All right. Well, thank you.
so much.
Thanks for being here with us today. If something resonated, maybe a sentence, a silence, or a story, hold on to that. If you felt seen or stirred or simply curious, we hope you'll join us again. Until then, stay open, stay tender, and remember, there's always a seat for you at the table.